success, where would the club actually be without Bruno Fernandes?
I think that's an easy question, similar to when this question was being posed last season of where Chelsea will be without Cole Palmer. I think Manchester United will most likely be in the relegation zone if Bruno Fernandes was not churning out these amazing numbers. Since the beginning of February, he has had 6 goals and 2 assists for United in 9 matches that he has played. So he has been a very important figure for Manchester United. I agree. There are some matches where Bruno Fernandes can be a tad bit childish, where it feels like he's lashing out, and there are times that maybe he doesn't lay passes quickly enough to his teammates. But I think that is as a result of seeing the likes of Haaland and Zexi miss chance after chance after chance. You mentioned 15 goals. He also has 13 assists to go with that in all competitions. So he's leading Manchester United when you talk about goals being scored and goals being created. I think he's one of those players that you need to understand that they have their excesses, but look at what he's bringing to the table. If it's take Bruno with his goals and assists and also his excesses, or do not have his excesses at all and also don't have his goals and assists, is an easy answer. You take the whole Bruno package.
Definitely, and I think I also agree with criticizing Rasmus Højlund. I watched the game yesterday, and I actually left it. I took it away from criticizing Højlund to feeling pity for him because, to be honest, I saw him struggling to want to score. He kept on missing chance after chance, and he was even frustrated with himself that why is this not going in, until the commentator now had to put it out there that this guy was bought for over 70 million and he's been struggling. He's had a disappointing season and is one of those players that might likely be kicked out by Ruben Amorim come the summer transfer window. And I look at it and said, look, this guy is a striker, and I think it's just time. I don't know how long he needs to perform, because if you take a look at other players who have left Man United, they are doing above average at their clubs, like likes of Marcus Rashford, there's Anthony, there's Sancho. A couple of them are doing so well out there. So what exactly is Højlund's problem? Why is he not scoring these goals as expected right there at Man United?
It's interesting that you mentioned Højlund as a striker. I think he's currently on a drought of about 20 or more games without hitting the back of the net. First of all, I think Manchester United has a fundamental problem. They've brought in a coach that plays a particular style, but unfortunately they didn't sack the previous coach in the summer, and then they bought players to suit that coach's style. So they've set Ruben Amorim up. I'm not exonerating Amorim. He has had some mistakes himself. But Manchester United, I can remember having a conversation when Højlund was signed with a Man United fan who is a friend of mine, and I was telling him that this amount that your club has put on this player is way too much. Yes, he had an okay time at Atalanta, but he's not a player that takes a lot of shots, and he's not the most clinical. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. And as a striker, when you're missing chances or you're not getting enough, you begin to second-guess yourself. Saw something happen in the game against Arsenal not too long ago where he took time on the ball. Shout out to Declan Rice, fantastic tackle to get the ball back. But a more informed striker probably gets that ball out of his feet on time. So I think Manchester United's issues, I don't know if we have 3, 4, 5 different shows. We can't talk about it enough.
But it still continues, and we'll see how they'll perform again this weekend as they battle to survive the rest of the games in the EPL. And of course, for Amorim, he said that, look, whatever happens at the club, he's the manager, he will be pointed out, and he doesn't know how long he has to stay at United or how long he has to change the mind of the owners right there at Manchester United. Still talking about the Europa League, another team surprised everybody yesterday, Tottenham Hotspur, where Ange Postecoglou has been in and out of sack conversations, and now Tottenham Hotspur has qualified for the quarterfinals of the Europa League. They defeated their opponents AZ Alkmaar yesterday to seek that qualification to the next phase of the tournament. And then let's take a look at the teams that have actually qualified for the quarterfinals of the Europa League. We know that Man United and Tottenham Hotspur are right there in the conversation. There's also Olympique Lyon, there's Rangers, there's Lazio, Bodo Glimt, Athletic Club. Interesting game I saw yesterday from Athletic Club as well. So 8 teams qualified so far. Which of these teams do you think will make it to the final? And is there anyone you're picking for the cup?
First of all, there is a potential historic run. The final of this Europa League will be played at San Mamés, which happens to be the home stadium of Athletic Bilbao, Athletic Club. So obviously, there is that incentive. And we saw them yesterday. Nico Williams got 2 goals. He could have had a hat-trick if he didn't strike the bar. They were really exciting against Claudio Ranieri's Roma. So Athletic Club are definitely a club I am looking at. And Postecoglou has been beating the drum all season that he wins things in his second season. So let's see whether he is going to be able to put his money where his mouth is. But I really think Athletic Club, just for the fact that the final is in their stadium, I think that is enough incentive and momentum for them. They could just make it through the final.
Stylishly, you ruled out Man United from this conversation.
They have a tough quarter-final fixture.
Well, but the fans are saying this is a cup that they will win easily.
So the problem is, judging Manchester United can be really tricky. We've seen some good games from them this season, but they're super inconsistent. Super inconsistent. The first leg against Sociedad, they could easily have lost that one. They held on for a draw. Yesterday, they considered the penalty first. In some other games, their head would drop. They had Bruno Fernandes, who was able to really, really turn things around for them. Lyon is a very, very tricky fixture for Manchester United in the quarterfinals. I can't beat my chest based on the body of work that we've seen this season and say Manchester United can go all the way. It's cup competition. If you have an off day, you can have a result that is unsalvageable. That's why I can't go on a whim and say Manchester United are my favorites for the Europa League.
All right, tough one right there, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing how they play against Lyon right there. In the quarterfinals, let's switch to the Conference Cup now. As Chelsea, they could not score 2 goals. This is because some boys have put money on Chelsea to score 2 goals.
Over
and then cast
1.5.
Yeah, over 1.5. But look, that game ended in a mago goal. Let me put it that way. Drewsbury getting the only goal in that one for Chelsea, ending a 1-0 win for them, seeking qualification to the quarterfinals of the Conference League. Yes, they've been struggling in and out, but of course, this is also a tournament. Chelsea will stand out as the favorites to actually win the Conference League.
Likely, they are the Agbayas of that competition.
Exactly.
Come on.
So I saw a shame if they don't win.
Yeah, I saw it start at the beginning of this competition that the value of Chelsea's squad was more than the value of the 2nd to 36th team in the tournament at the end of the day. So Chelsea parade a lot of expensive players. Whether or not they are good enough for the prices that were paid for them, that's another conversation. But a disappointing performance yesterday. Drewsbury had to hold them over the line with a goal that you can say was a fortunate ricochet for him. But eventually, he was able to put the ball in the back of the net. The goalkeeper, Jorgensen, had to be called on once or twice. Not the best preparation Chelsea will have for their weekend match against an Arsenal side that definitely knows how to do a number on them.
All right, we'll see how that turns out. Chelsea, Arsenal this weekend right there at Emirates Stadium. We'll see if Arsenal can revive their title push or it will become the end of the road, like Boyz II Men would sing. Now, for Chelsea, let's take a look at the teams that have actually qualified for the quarterfinals of the Conference League. Yes, Chelsea have made it through, and I wonder who their next opponents will be. But of course, if you ask me, these club sides are strange. I'll put it that way.
No.
But Chelsea look like they have all it takes to win. But I think the only tough teams there would be Fiorentina and Real Betis.
Yes.
Yeah, those are the 3 teams, 2 teams that I know would push Chelsea all the way, because there's also Liga Vassal, where I think Chelsea will play Liga Vassal.
Yes, those are their opponents
in the next round of game. That's the quarterfinals. We'll see if they can actually win this one or fall by the wayside.
They are condemned to win. They are condemned to win. The only fortunate thing for Chelsea is the fact that both Fiorentina and Betis are on the other side of the draw. So they can only meet either of them in the final. But Betis have an Anthony, rejuvenated Anthony, 10 matches for his loan club, 4 goals, 4 assists. He's looking like a man reborn.
Definitely. And of course, there's Isco as well. I was just
True that.
Isco, former player for Real Madrid, who scored and celebrated against Real Madrid, and later came out to apologize to them. But of course, this is going to be a match-watching fixture to look out for in the Conference League, the Europa League, and then the champions.